Gray dust on the wooden floor, footsteps near the open door, half-lit shadows on the wall, waiting for the stars to fall. Rusty strings and silver smoke, everything we never broke. Just a song for empty rooms where the midnight flower blooms. The fire's burning low, nowhere left to go. In the hollow of the night, everything is out of sight. Through the ash and through the wood, stay as long as we both could. Cold wind through a broken pane, smell of earth and distant rain. Your old sweater on the chair, I can feel you're almost there. Tuning out the city noise, in the echo of your voice. Just a ghost with tired eyes, watching how the morning dies. The candle's almost gone, waiting for the dawn. In the hollow of the night, everything is out of sight. Through the ash and through the wood, stay as long as we both could. Still breathing, still leaving, in the acoustic silence. into night. Dissolve into night. Let the dark hold you tight. Dissolve into night. Everything feels right. Everything feels right. Dissolve into night. Let the dark hold you tight. Dissolve into night. Everything feels right. Dissolving into night. Into the warm below. Move slow, move slow. This is all I know. Move slow into the warm below. The soft evidence of a life being lived is in the small and unremarkable things. The dishes in the sink, forgiven. The ordinary proof that living brings. Soft evidence I am here. In every small thing that appears. Soft evidence, quiet signs. The ordinary in the lines. A book left open, face down flat. A window cracked for air. A coat dropped on the floor like that. A self too tired to care. Soft evidence I am here. In every small thing that appears. Soft evidence, quiet signs. The ordinary in the lines. This is not a ruin. This is not neglect. This is just a life being lived in all its imperfect and honest collect. Evidence of living right here in the ordinary. That's all the proof I need. Your color I've been living in the waiting room of what comes after what I've known, sitting with the comfortable gloom of not yet ready, not yet grown. The waiting room, this is fine. Everything in some time in line. The waiting room, soft and long, waiting for the next belonging. Some people hate the waiting room, the suspension of the not yet clear. I've learned to decorate the gloom and make a home while waiting here. The waiting room, this is fine. Everything in its own time in line. The waiting room, soft and long, waiting for the next belonging. The waiting room is good light if you adjust your eyes, and the people waiting with you are always a surprise. Still waiting comfortably now. It's not so bad in here. confession mine to hold. Not yet ready to be told. Soft confession, warm and real. The most romantic thing I feel. Soft confession, you're somehow, even if you don't know now. Some confessions live their whole life as the unsaid and then known. Some love needs only the private strife of being felt, not thrown. Soul's confession, still mine, still waiting for the right evening. Maybe tonight. There's a soft voltage in the city dark, a current running through the stone. Not enough to make a single spark, but enough to keep from being alone. Soft voltage, warm and low, just enough to let me know. Soft voltage, city current, run underneath the urgent. Soft voltage, low and real, everything I need to feel. I've been absorbing it for years. This soft electricity hum, it charges through my quiet fears and keeps my body from going numb. Soft voltage, warm and low, just enough to let me know. Soft voltage, city current, run underneath the urgent. Soft voltage, low and real, everything I need to feel. Still charged on the city's quiet current. Still alive from smoke without a source drifts through the corridor at 3 in the morning. without adorning the moment with a question. Smooth without source, just the drift, just the present and the gift. Smoke without source, dark and white, moving through the inside. Smoke without source, cold and real, the most honest thing to feel when you stop demanding explanations. For the city's quiet manifestations. I've stopped asking where things come from. The smoke, the sound, the distant voice. Some things arrive without a bottom, and the arriving is the choice. Smoke without source, just the drift, just the presence and the gift. Smoke without source, dark and white, moving through the inside. Smoke without source, cold and real, the most honest thing to feel when you stop demanding explanations. For the city's quiet manifestations. Let it drift, don't trace it back. Some things are better without a source, without a track. Smoke without source, drifting through the corridor. I watch it pass. That's enough. Transparent to myself at this particular hour. Everything taken off the shelf and looked at in the power of the honest dark. Transparent, cold and clear. Transparent, only here. Transparent, dark and white. Transparent, step inside. dissolves, and behind it, the actual. Transparent, cold and clear. Transparent, only here. Transparent, dark and white. Transparent, step inside. Transparent, only at this hour, only to myself, the most private exhibition. Nobody's invited. Observe city is the one that only the patient get to see. After the performed and done version is finished, the free and unguarded city. Observe city, mind to read the version that proceeds without the audience. Observe city, dark and clear, the unperformed version here. Observe city, cold and wide, the city with nothing to hide. After hours, the particular, the unglamorous and spectacular honesty of the late observed. Observe city, unreserved. I observe the city the way a naturalist observes a creature, without disturbing the display of the ordinary feature of the thing being itself. Observe city, mind to read the version that proceeds without the audience. Observe city, dark and clear, the unperformed version here. Observe city, cold and wide, the city with nothing to hide. After hours, the particular, the changes everything about it. The solitude that's self-conferred is nothing to be wistful about. It's the preference operating. Voluntary, that's the key. Everything I chose to be. Voluntary, dark and white. The chosen version of insight. Not the accidental or the loss. Not the exile and its cause. Just the voluntary and the free. Voluntary, that's just me. People assume the solitary is the accidental or the sad, but voluntary is extraordinary, the most deliberate and glad of all the possible arrangements. Voluntary, that's the key. Everything I chose to be. Voluntary, dark and white. The chosen version of inside. Not the accidental or the loss. Not the exile and its cause. Just the voluntary and the free. Voluntary, that's just me. No one placed me here. I walked here. Looked around. Oh yes, this is exactly right. Stayed. frequency is worn and deep, like fabric softened through the years, a signal that I've come to keep, beyond the static and the fears. Worn frequency, soft with use, the only channel I can choose. Worn frequency, mine and true, the sound of everything I knew. New frequencies are sharp and clear, but worn ones have a different warmth, the kind that tells you home is near, the kind that weathers every storm. Worn frequency, soft with use, the only channel I can choose. Worn frequency, mine and true, the sound of everything I knew. Worn just right, like something that belongs to me now. There's a soft signal in the dark, not loud enough to follow home. Just enough to leave a mark, just enough to not feel alone. I tune myself to quiet things, to what the late hour brings. Soft signal, barely there, like a warmth soft infrastructure of a life is all the invisible